Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Noel Jamber. It was a great weekend in sports. A lot of big name events, a lot of big name stories, and we're going to talk about what I think are the five most important. We got 3 NBA playoffs on the way. We'll talk about that. We got the Suns fire their head coach. We'll talk about that. Even though that was today, I'll talk about that. I think that's important. NBA three-point leaders. I feel like that's kind of important coming into playoffs with a whole new era of basketball. Let's talk about that. Talk about the Masters, and then we're going to talk about the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers, and the MLB. I like them a lot. Obviously, I'm a Detroit fan, so I want to talk about how they're playing. Before we get into any of that, though, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. If you do want to tip or donate, please do so. If you're in the live stream, in the link in the bio and description, and super chat and stickers in the live stream. If you're not in the live stream, just watching this online through YouTube or listening, the links in the bio description are good for both of those as well. Even if you don't want to, donate, like and comment is always greatly appreciated. If you do want to comment, I'll get to it as soon as I can in the live stream column or in the comment section on YouTube. I'll get to that as soon as possible. So please, if you do want to tip or donate, like I said, if you're not in the live stream, links in the bio description. If you're on the live stream, via super chat and stickers. With that being said, let's get into the first topic of the day, shall we? First thing, NBA postseason. Finally, it has finally come. The best time of the NBA season is finally here, and it's the NBA postseason. After the most wild ending in the Western Conference we've seen in a while, with all seeds from 4 to 10 still undecided. Finally, as of today, as of last night, they have finally come to an end, and they're finally set in stone. The Eastern Conference has been set in stone for like 3 weeks now. It's insane. And the Western finishes the day before. Like, literally yesterday was the last day of the regular NBA season, and it's finally locked in. And like I said, the Eastern Conference has been set for 2-3 weeks now. It's nuts. So I want to go over the seeds, who I think is gonna win it all, overall all that. We'll start with the Western Conference. It is finally, like I said, come to a conclusion. All the games for the regular season are finally done. We can finally talk about who I think is gonna win the Western Conference. So first off, OKC at the 1. Makes perfect sense. They're the best team in the West. They have one of the most talented rosters, young players. You got guys SGA, Chet, they're Jalen Williams, both of them. That team's just loaded. They got a lot of talent over there in OKC. You got Houston at the 2, which is one of the most surprising seeds you've seen in a while. They go from an unranked, no playoff team for the past 3-4 years to a 2 seed in one of the best Western Conferences we've seen in a while. It really does show a lot that this team is playing good as well. Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Asar Thompson, these guys are just playing really good basketball. This Houston team is very good, and I'm excited to see if they make a good run. We got LA, the Lakers at the 3 seed. Trading for Luka is one of the best things this organization could have done. Yes, they lost an all-star. Ooh, sorry, excuse me. Not sure where that yawn came from. I'm wide awake. That's really weird. But trading for Anthony Davis, all-star Anthony Davis, does suck. But getting Luka Doncic, one of the best scorers in the game right now, out of it, completely worth it. Luka is just so good on both sides of the ball. And he's one of the best scorers in the league right now. So being able to pick him up and still having big men who can fill in Anthony Davis' shoes is a huge upside for the Lakers team. It was a great trade overall for them. For Dallas, not so much. You got Denver at the 4. After firing Mike Malone for some unknown reason, we know the reason now, but I think is relatively interesting. They could have waited until after the season was over, but I'm not the organization. I'm not sure why they did that. But they got Denver at the 4. People thought they were dropping into the play-in. I was one of them who thought they were not going to drop into the play-in. I thought they were too talented to do that. And they, in fact, oh my God, I'm going. Again, I'm sorry. But they are too talented to drop into the play-in, and they proved me right. They are a 4 seed, and they deserve to be there. You got the Clippers at the 5. No one has talked about the Clippers once this year, and the fact that they've made the playoffs as a 5 seed after being a play-in team most of the season is very surprising to me. I'm not surprised at all, actually. I'm just saying, like, as an NBA fan, it's probably surprising, but not to me. I've been following the Clippers very closely this year because I am a partial fan of the Clippers. But, besides that, watching the Clippers play this season, they deserve to be in that spot. They have played so good this entire year while getting so little attention through the media. It's insane. They completely deserve to be in that 5 seed. Minnesota has made it to the 6 seed after also being a play-in team for the last few weeks. They beat Utah last night, and they should have beat them. Utah's been tanking / not playing their players for about a few weeks now. And they made it to the 6 seed. They finally locked in the playoffs. They're going to be a good team. They swept the Suns 4-0 last year in the first round. We'll see if they can do that again against LA. I doubt it, but we'll have to wait and see. Then for the play-in games, you got Golden State versus Memphis for the 7 seed. And Golden State 7, Memphis at 8. And then 9 seed is Sacramento, 10 seed Dallas. Golden State should beat Memphis. Memphis is not playing very good basketball as of recent after firing their coach as well. Like I said, these NBA coaches. Okay, oh my gosh, I guess I'm really tired, I'm not sure. But these NBA coaches are getting fired left and right, and really no one, these Western Conference coaches, they're getting fired left and right. And 2 of them being a playoff team. I mean, it's really weird. When Memphis fired their head coach, they were a 5 seed, and they've dropped all the way to 8. Earlier this year, they were a 3 seed. I mean, they've just fallen so far. It's unreal since firing their coach. So that was definitely an interesting move by the organization. But it's their call. But I do think Golden State will win that game to get the 7 seed. And then Sacramento-Dallas, I do think Sacramento will beat the Dallas Mavericks in the first round. And then they will then play Memphis for the 8 seed, who I do think they will beat. So Sacramento would be the 8 seed. Golden State would be the 7 seed. And then throughout the first series, I guess you could say, OKC versus Sacramento. OKC wins at 5. Maybe 4. Maybe they'll sweep them. I'm not sure, but they'll win that series. Houston will then. Golden State versus Houston could be a great series. I don't think we'll have to see. Jimmy playoffs, comes back. Playoff Jimmy comes back. We'll have to wait and see. But I think Houston wins. LA versus Minnesota. LA. And then Denver versus Clippers is going to be absolute. Could be a 7-game series. And I do hope the Clippers win. But the Nuggets do also deserve to win because they're the better team. Because they're a really good team. But Harden, Kawhi, Ivan Zubac. This Clippers team is so underrated. No one's talking about them. And I do think they should win that series. I do think they can in 7 and maybe in 6. But we'll have to wait and see. But I do hope the Clippers make it out of that series alive to the semifinals. But then going to the playoffs, I do believe that either OKC or the Los Angeles Lakers will make it to the Western Conference Finals and win and then make it to the NBA Finals. It's going to be either one of those teams. I'm not sure which one. LeBron in the playoffs is, it's LeBron. Luka's playing phenomenal. Austin Reeves, Dalton Knecht. These guys are playing amazing. But then you got this OKC team. The reason I don't think they will beat LA because they're so young and they're not used to the playoffs. But that's also another thing. They're a lot younger than the Lakers. I guess you could say. They got a lot younger guys. So they're faster. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes out. But I do hope LA makes it to the NBA Finals in the West. Then going to the East. Like I said earlier, the East has been set in stone for 2.5, 2 weeks now. Who knows? But pretty good seeding. Talk about that. So we got Cleveland, the Cavs at the 1. Yeah, best team in the East and deserves it. Boston the 2. New York at the 3. New York is the next to the most fraudulent 3 seed ever. 0-10 versus Cleveland, Boston, and OKC this year. They are not a good team this year. I'm saying that right now. They cannot beat the good teams. They can maybe win their first round, but I doubt they will. Because they're playing, I'll get to that in a minute. Indy the 4, good team. Milwaukee the 5, also a great team, deserve that. Detroit at the 6, who they are then playing the New York Knicks, who I then think they will beat in 6 because Detroit has because they're a better team. I think Detroit is a better team overall than the Knicks. They're 3-1 against the Knicks this year. Like I said, New York Knicks are not good. They haven't beat any of the top 2 teams in the East or the best team in the West once, 0-10, like I said. And they're a very fraudulent playoff team. They never really have a lot of success in the playoffs anyway. So I do think that the Detroit Pistons beat them in 6. Then for the play-in, we then got Magic versus the Hawks. 7 seed Magic, 8 seed Hawks. I do think Magic will win because of how good their defensive play is compared to the offense. Compared to the Hawks' offense. The Magic is one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, and I'm excited to see, them beat the. I do think they will beat the Hawks, and then the 9 Bulls versus 10 Heat. Heat will beat the Bulls. Could be intertwined because the Bulls have been playing really good since the All-Star break. Josh Giddey especially playing really good. But I do think the Heat will beat them just based off experience, and they're a better overall team, in my opinion. Seeding doesn't prove it, but I think they're a better team than the Bulls. So I think it will be the Heat versus the Hawks in the play-in, and then the Heat will then beat the Hawks to make the 8 seed. So then Cleveland versus Heat for the 1 versus 8. I mean, the Heat are the Heat. They'll make some noise in the playoffs, regardless. I mean, maybe they're not going to beat Cleveland. Maybe they'll take them to 6 or 7. But without Jimmy there, it's a big downside. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think Cleveland will beat them in 5 or 6. Boston versus Magic. Boston will beat them in 5. New York versus Detroit. I have Detroit in 6. And then Indy versus Milwaukee could go to 7, but I do think Milwaukee will lose to the Indy Pacers in 6. And then going throughout the rest of the playoffs, Boston's going to make the NBA Finals. I think they beat whoever's in their path, and then they will play the Los Angeles Lakers, where the Lakers will then beat the Boston Celtics to tie the all-time NBA titles, title champions. How many championships? They will now both have 18, and they'll both be continuing this rivalry for years and years to come. And with the addition of Luka to the Lakers, I'm more than happy to see that happen, and I'm so excited to see this playoff start. I love the NBA playoffs, and the play-in is the best time of the year. I love it. So tomorrow, Tuesday, you got the first games of the play-in. We'll see how it goes. We'll see my predictions. All right. Ooh, wait. That could have been bad. I just hit stop recording. I didn't mean to do that. That could have been very bad. Thank you for tuning in to this segment of the Dead Ball Sports Podcast. In the next segment, we're staying with the NBA, talking about the Suns. They just fired their head coach. Talk about that. Then we're going to the NBA as well. We're sticking with them. I swear it's like a basketball podcast, but it's not. We're going to the three-point leaders for the NBA this season. Then we're going to the Masters, and then we're ending it off with the MLB in Detroit. We'll get right back to all that after the break.